Hello everyone, Ryan here again. So if you haven't already realized by now, of course I am reviewing all of Metallica's albums in chronological order. In other words, in the order in which they were initially released. So, this is now my review of Master of Puppets. Master of Puppets, of course, was released in March 3rd, 1986, and it is actually hailed as one of the greatest, if not, I believe, the greatest album of all time. I want to say, but it's definitely, I guess you'd say it's definitely one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. Heavy metal, hard rock, thrash metal albums of all time. So I'll go ahead and read the track listing here, and then of course mention 5 of my favorites. So the opening track number 1, is titled Battery. That's 5 minutes 12 seconds long. Second track is the title track, Master of Puppets, and that is 8 minutes. That's right, 8 minutes and 36 seconds long. Third track is The Thing That Should Not Be. That is 6 minutes and 39 seconds long. Fourth track is Welcome Home, Sanitarium. That is 6 minutes, 28 seconds long. Fifth track is Disposable Heroes. That is 8 minutes, 21 seconds long. Sixth track is Leper Messiah. That is 5 minutes and 43 seconds long. Seventh track is Orion. That's an instrumental. That is 8 minutes, 28 seconds long. Last track number 8, is Damage Inc. or Damage Incorporated. That is 5 minutes, 31 seconds long. So yeah, there you go. That is 8 tracks on this album, Master of Puppets. Now, as far as my favorites are concerned, number 5, my 5th favorite would have to be Damage Inc. And Damage Inc. is a closing track. So I mean, essentially, this album, it starts with a straightforward thrashy. I don't know why I keep saying thrashy. I think I like that word. But anyways, Battery is a straightforward thrash metal kind of song. Even though it opens with, much like with Fight Fire with Fire on Ride the Lightning, Battery also opens with a great acoustic intro. And then it just comes in right away with this hard-hitting thrash metal riff. And that's pretty much non-stop from there on throughout the song. Except for maybe a couple of slow down, groovy parts. But otherwise, pretty much straightforward thrash metal song. The guitar solo is great. Again, another great guitar solo by Kirk Hammett. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's Battery. This album pretty much opens with a straightforward thrash metal song, and it closes with an even more of a thrash metal song with Damage Inc. Damage Inc., of course, Damage Inc. being my 5th favorite on this album. To me, it's closely related to Battery. Though I can't exactly say I know what, as far as the lyrical content, exactly how that can be interpreted. But the music, for me, it's very similar to Battery. So that's my 5th favorite, Damage Inc. My 4th favorite is Orion, and that's the instrumental on this album. And this instrumental is very, very layered in the instrumentation, very progressive, and not overly progressive, but as far as for a Metallica song, and especially for any kind of instrumental song, it's pretty progressive. And not only that, but it features really great leads, guitar solos, and also a really great bass solo from Cliff Burton. Rest in peace, Cliff Burton. Uh, yeah, it's very overall really tight and really awesome. Very emotional instrumental song, Orion. So that's my fourth favorite. My third favorite is Disposable Heroes. And I know Disposable Heroes tends to be kind of underrated on this album, but I like it because it works, and not only that, the music combined with the lyrics really complement each other, I feel. Because ultimately the lyrics are about pretty much the fact that most soldiers are constantly told that they're heroes, but at the same time, there is a very, in reality, most soldiers are used for nefarious purposes. Uh, and of course, that's not to demean the fact that soldiers put their lives on the lines and all that, because obviously they do. But it's also a very real fact that that goes along with that is, in other words, that ultimately soldiers too become instruments of war, weapons of war. So yeah, I mean, at least that's how I interpret the lyrics of this song, "Disposable Heroes." And it also features, again, another really great guitar solo. So that's my third favorite, Disposable Heroes. My second favorite is Welcome Home, Sanitarium. And this song, it starts off with a slow, clean guitar sound. Acoustic-like, but not played on an acoustic guitar. Although I wouldn't be surprised if in the studio they did mix it with an acoustic sound. But yeah, it starts off with this really clean sound, and then it just kicks in with this heavy, not really thrash metal-like riff, but just really heavy sound, heavy guitar riff. And eventually it works up towards a basic classic thrash metal sound. Again, I would say you can compare this song to Fade to Black from Ride the Lightning. Both are very comparable in lyrical content and also in the different kinds of, also similar in instrumentation, and the fact that, with Welcome Home Sanitarium, the lyrics complement the instrumentation, the guitar riffs, the drums, the bass, and again, really great guitar solos on this song as well. It's also a very emotional song. That's why I said you can compare it to Fade to Black, because they're both very emotional kind of songs. They invoke a certain set of emotions. At least that's how I feel. So, my number one favorite song off of this album, and I didn't want to pick this, but Master of Puppets is my favorite. Even though, like I said, I didn't want to choose this as my favorite from this album, my number one favorite, because I know so many other people tend to favor this song over all the other songs on this album. But I figured, me being a guitar player, yes, it's my favorite, because the guitar work on this song, Master of Puppets, is so, I don't know how to say it, complex, multi-layered, makes good use of various scales. It kicks in right away, and not only that, the lyrics. In fact, I believe most of the lyrics on this album, Master of Puppets, really complement the overall instrumentation. I don't know, that's how I feel. But especially with this song, Master of Puppets, ultimately, I guess supposedly this is supposed to be, the lyrics are supposed to be about cocaine addiction. And I don't know, maybe possibly, I'd say more than likely, the singer James Hetfield's struggle with cocaine addiction. Or if not, maybe, I mean, it deals with his addiction, but also the addiction of the other members, or maybe some other friends of his, but ultimately, I guess you could say addiction in general, any kind of addiction. Just like with most addictions, where eventually you feel like it has its hold over you, and you no longer have, it feels like you no longer have a free will of your own. But yeah, I mean, that's the way I interpret the lyrics. So, and of course, getting back to the music itself, of course, the opening riff, which starts off with the dun, 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 dun. A lot of people are familiar with that riff. In fact, I would even say even people who don't like Metallica or don't like heavy metal or hard rock, I'd say even people who listen to hip hop, I'd say, are familiar with that riff at least. At least I know some of my friends that prefer hip hop over heavy metal or hard rock. So there's that opening riff everybody's familiar with, and then it kicks in with an even heavier riff. But not only that, but it's a riff that's much more progressive, because it makes use of the scales in a much more progressive kind of way. At least that's how I feel. That's just my opinion as a guitar player. So yeah, and then when it gets kind of towards the middle, it slows down, and there's a very melodic interlude, which then leads to another very melodic lead part, which starts with James Hetfield. He's the one who initially, as far as I remember reading about, he initially came up with this interlude, this first guitar lead. And then of course Kirk Hammett plays the higher octave. So yeah, you got this very melodic groove kind of thing, and then it kicks in the very melodic guitar lead, 2-octave guitar lead. And then after that it gets right back into the heaviness of the song. And then from there it just takes off even more, and then boom, kicks in another one of Kirk Hammett's awesome guitar solos. Another one which I would consider to be on my top 10 list of favorite guitar solos by Kirk Hammett. It's fast, it's thrashy, just awesome altogether. So for this album, I would say, if you gotta listen to one song off of this album, it would have to be the title track. But I encourage you to listen to all the songs, obviously. So yeah, there you go. Overall, of course, I'm pretty sure you can figure what I'm going to rate this on a scale of 1 metal horn to 5 metal horns. I mean, come on. I give it... What the hell am I doing with my hand here? 5 metal horns. 5 metal horns all the way. Definitely. I got it. I mean, how could I not? That's... Obviously, I know not everybody is going to agree with me, but that's how I feel. So yeah, that'll do it for this review. I don't want to drag on any more. So stay tuned, because I will be, again, reviewing all of Metallica's albums in chronological order, and I will also be reviewing other albums from other bands as well. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.